So today's video is going to bring you into my world. After doing that one particular video on how to successfully co-parent with an ex, I have subsequently received so many requests for people asking me to share my journey through my divorce and how I actually got to such a good place with my ex-husband. And that's why I just thought, let me open myself up to you, let me be vulnerable and share what I actually went through, the steps that I took, and I really hope that it can help somebody out there going through something similar. So I was married for 11 years, and for the most part of it, I must say, I was so very happy, literally blissfully happy to be in the relationship. He was the love of my life, my first love, and I think we actually had a pretty good run in our marriage. And I absolutely regret nothing about it. And knowing what I know today, I would still do it all over again because the life lessons and experience I got from it are absolutely incredible. They were a significant part in shaping the person that I am today. I made the decision to leave my marriage when I felt that I didn't recognize myself anymore. I came to a point whereby I was so miserable to be in the marriage. It didn't serve me. I was angry, I was bitter, I was snappy to my kids, and I had to put up this bold face to the rest of the world. When I went into the office, I had to put on a smile and carry on with all of the other duties that I had, while I was so sad and feeling so many other toxic emotions inside. And that's exactly when I had to make the decision to choose myself and file for divorce. So before I actually filed for divorce, I actually sought the services of a professional. There was just so much going on in my mind at that particular point in time that I did not necessarily want to share with anybody else, but I definitely needed to process and get the words out. So I sought out the services of a life coach. And I remember the first day I actually sat on his couch and he said to me, "Tish, what do you want? How can I actually help you?" And I said to him, "I want you to help me to get out of my marriage." And that was the turning point for me, because once those words were out of my mouth into the universe, I knew there was no turning back. I finally felt liberated to say the words, and I was ready to start the journey. One of the great things that actually came out of the coaching session was to help me to identify the aftermath of the divorce and the type of relationship that I would want to have with my soon-to-be ex-husband. And I was very clear early on that I only want to have a good co-parenting relationship with him. If not for anything, for at least for the sake of my kids, because they didn't ask for this. They didn't ask to be in a broken home. So I knew very early on that this was my responsibility to make sure that they're in an environment, whether they're at their dad's house or my house, that they could speak freely and openly about their feelings, or either parent to myself or to him without being afraid of either one of our reactions. So I must say that was a real eye-opener for me very early on. And it literally influenced every single decision that I actually made. Only because you have to take a stance at some point. Are you either going to go into your divorce guns blazing because you're still mad, you're still angry and you're carrying so much? Or are you going to take a completely different approach? Because there's still going to be that after effect that's going to influence how people treat each other when the ink is dry on the paper. I think what made things more seamless for us was our communication and the planning process. We spoke to each other with respect, no matter what was happening, because we still had the kids in the house, and the best thing that we did for each other was not to involve the outside world. I actually made a plea to him, and I asked him that, can we not tell people until we had the divorce decree in our hands? Because you know how it goes, family would want to intervene, and they want to save the marriage, and they're coming from a good place because they saw us as the couple, the it couple as they actually called it. We're always happy and laughing, and we're one of those people that never fought in front of people, so it became a huge shock. But it was also important to have somebody driving the process, and I had put my hand up for that. I got the lawyer, I have found the divorce agreement, and I talked to him about it, and I think we were both very reasonable in terms of coming to a settlement that made us both happy and that was fair. So because initially the girls were very young, I had them for the most part and he got them every second weekend. And now that they're grown, they go to see their dad every other week. So we actually alternate. But yeah, so I would say the two top things was the communication and somebody actually driving the process for us to actually get somewhere and move on with the rest of our lives, I guess. Yes, there were definitely challenges along the way, of course. I think the biggest one that we faced was around how soon do you introduce your significant other to the kids? You know, when you're fresh out of a divorce, everybody knows that, you know, sometimes you're on the rebound, you meet somebody, but it's not going to last. And maybe it is going to last, you just never know. But it was a matter of what is that correct time frame. It was definitely a teething issue for us, but we had come such a long way. We're not going to let something like this actually take away everything that we had actually built. We had to navigate very cleverly around it, and I think we finally came to a consensus that made us both happy. What I learned through this process is you definitely need to take care of yourself first. From either meditating in the morning, investing in yourself, every single homework that my coach gave me, I actually did. From sitting alone, going to a restaurant and just becoming familiar with my own company again, investing in myself in the morning, investing myself in the evening, and always taking that opportunity every single day of my life to give back to myself and giving myself that sweet moment of pleasure every single day without fail was so important. The network and the support that I have when I finally told people that I was actually divorced, that was so critical. It played such a pivotal role. So I would say the type of people that you surround yourself with is quite key, and not necessarily caring too much about what the rest of the world is actually going to say. They're going to find out about it anyway, they're going to talk anyway. It's a so what type of situation. The only thing that should matter and did matter for me was myself, my family, my circle of friends, and how they formed the community around me at this point when I actually needed it. So that was a tick. It was a bonus for me to see who my real people actually are, because it takes a time of crisis mode to see people either stepping up or falling off the radar. And I was very fortunate that mine actually showed up for me. Like in that one video that I spoke about earlier, and which I guess why I'm doing this video today, is, you know, this is a ongoing journey and I had to make a decision for myself. I don't choose to be angry. I don't choose to be in a consistent fight with someone. Very happy today. We're actually both happy. If there's a school event, I keep him a chair and he keeps me a chair as well. If there's business out there that I hear about that he can benefit from, you know, I make sure that I engage with those people, send them the contact numbers. I just find like life is so much easier like this. And we also step in to help out with the kids when he can't do something, when he's actually got the kids on his week, and he does the same thing for me. So I guess we shifted from being husband and wife to being co-parents to two amazing daughters, and we'll continue to be the best support system and pillars to each other, because it's a win-win for all at the end of the day. This question has come up so many times. No, I'm not remarried, and neither is my ex-husband. And no, we've never thought of giving it a shot after we actually got divorced. But we are both in serious relationships, and the most important thing is that the kids are happy, and yes, they have met both of our significant others, and this actually works for us. I guess the difficult part of the divorce for me was trying to manage all of those feelings I was going through, but I was completely ill-equipped to deal with them. One moment I was angry, the other moment I was on the floor, bawling my eyes out. I just couldn't manage everything that was going on inside. It was very tumultuous. I used to wake up with this horrible feeling in the pit of my stomach, and I used to go to bed with it. And I had it for months on end. I mean, to date, I can't even remember the day it actually disappeared. But one day I was actually chatting to my sister on the phone, and she was checking up on me, and she said, hey, how are you doing? And it was literally like months after the divorce. And I said, that's when I actually realized that feeling was gone. And I think that was the start of my true healing. And I know it's a long process, but to answer the question, the emotions that I think I had to deal with, and everybody else who was in the same shoes have to go through, that was very, very challenging for me. I hope I've been able to answer a lot of the questions that I've received from you, and that there's something that you can take from my story and this video that you can apply if you are going through this painful process, or you're in a breakup stage with somebody in your life, because I certainly know it is not easy. And that's why I actually do this, to help people so that they can overcome and get through to the other side and be better for it and get some life learning from it as well. I'm hoping that you actually enjoy this channel. I will continuously send you more information, more content. So thank you so much for engaging with me, for liking my videos, sharing them with people. Have a fantastic week. I'll see you next time.